We've already seen just how well Groudon and Koga perform, so now it is time to complete the trio with Rayquaza. If you haven't seen the Koga or the Groudon video before now, I would highly recommend giving it a watch before watching this particular backport. As always, there may be some spoilers here and there for the previous two backports as we go through the course of this one. Now, if you do want to play any of the backports, they're available on the website, trainersquidgy.com. There's a tab on the website dedicated to the backports that we play here in Pokemon Crystal, and pretty much any backport that we play here on the channel will be available for you to download almost as soon as the video goes live. If I ever release a backport and there isn't a link to the backport, please do let me know in the comments down below and I shall get that fixed. For now though, let's take a look at our stats. We are level 5 this time with 27 HP, holding a berry, and our two moves are Twister and Scary Face. 21 in attack, 15 in defense, 21 in special attack, 15 in special defense, and 16 in speed. They are the stats we're going with for the start of this challenge. Let's see how we get on. And as always, I'll show you the very first encounter with a wild Pokemon, and it takes quite some time to get it this time. We're all the way through to the final patch of grass when we finally encounter a level 3 Pidgey. We knock it out in 2 shots and we can move on to our first rival battle together. We didn't have anything too great to give the rival, so I've decided to go for the Totodile line in this instance. And the only reason for that is we could potentially have a super effective move on the Chikorita line and on the Cyndaquil line before Rival 5. Rival 1 was no issue whatsoever though, and we can move our way into our first gym battle. This is Falkner's flying type gym and he leads with Pidgey. It's a 2-shot on the Pidgey and here comes the Pidgeotto. We're going to take 3 Twisters to knock it out this time, grow to level 9, and we obtain our first badge, the Zephyr badge, in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's now head to Azalea Town where Bugsy is waiting for us. Bugsy is of course a bug-type specialist who leads with Metapod. It's going to be a 2-shot on the Metapod, we grow to level 14 and out comes the Kakuna. Very similar situation, it's 2 shots yet again. We don't end up being poisoned by Poison Sting, and now we can turn our attention onto Scyther. We don't really have anything to knock it out quickly, but we're in no danger of fainting. We grow to level 15 and we defeat Bugsy in 8 minutes and 5 seconds. And you know what, this time we definitely can keep the celebrations going because Rival 2 is just around the corner, and I have a very big feeling that he's got nothing at all that's going to knock us out. So let's engage him in battle and see how we get on. This is of course Rival 2, he's going to lead with Ghastly, it goes down with a single Ancient's Power. The Zubat goes down in much the same way, so we can turn our attention onto the Croconaw. We're going to use Twister a few times on the Croconaw to knock it out, we take no damage at all, we grow to level 16, and we get through him in 8 minutes and 39 seconds. Our next gym leader is Whitney, she's the normal type specialist of Goldenrod Gym who leads with Clefairy. Clefairy Metronome's Rage as we knock it out in 2 headbutts, and now we're on to the Miltank. Miltank's rollout is super effective, but a flinch takes care of the Miltank and we get the option to learn Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is far better than Twister, so we'll learn it and then defeat Whitney, and we'll get our badge in 12 minutes and 51 seconds. We are on one of our fastest ever paces at this point. Let's see how we get on against the third rival battle. This time he's going to lead with Haunter. Haunter's going to be a nice and simple one-shot with Dragon Claw, and we can move our attention onto Magnemite. We've got Surf on the learn set primarily to deal with pesky Pokemon like Magnemite. We'll swap to Ancient's Power for the Zubat to guarantee the one-shot, and now we've just got Croconaw left to go. It's a pair of Dragon Claws to finish off the Croconaw, we grow to level 23, and we have defeated the rival in 15 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's now fall through the floor and make our way into Morty's gym. Morty is our dual Ghost and Poison Spectacular gym leader, and he's going to lead with Ghastly. We've got Surf on the learn set. Surf is a very powerful move for this point in the challenge, so it'll be more than capable of knocking out the Ghastly. We'll Dragon Claw the Haunter and we'll Dragon Claw the Gengar. It's 2 shots on the Gengar, but the Minceberry kicked in, and that meant that Hypnosis didn't affect us. We finish off his Haunter to get the Fog Badge in 1729, and now we're at Chuck's gym. Chuck is the Cyanwood gym leader, her fighting type specialist who leads with Primeape. We're going to headbutt the Primeape as he uses Leer. We'll finish it off with a Dragon Claw, and now here comes Poliwrath. We'll use a combination of Headbutt and Flinch on turn 1 and Dragon Claw on turn 2 to finish off the Poliwrath and obtain Chuck's badge in 21 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's now move over to Jasmine, the Steel-type specialist who leads with Magnemite. And Jasmine is not going to be a problem in this one. We can one-shot her first Magnemite, we'll use Surf on the Steelix to take it deep into the red. We can use another Surf as she healing loops and we knock it out in 2 further hits. Her final Magnemite goes down to a single surf, and that's Jasmine done in 24 minutes and 12 seconds. A brief rocket section later and we're in front of Price. He is the Ice-type specialist and he leads with Seal. Now Price could have been a bit of a threat in this battle if he had decent Ice-type moves to back him up. The biggest threat was that Dugong, whose Aurora Beam took us into the yellow, but we can surf the Piloswine away because it's super effective and we get through our only gym with a 4x weakness on our first try in 29 minutes and 37 seconds. 7 badges in under half an hour is fantastic. Let's see how we do against the 4th and penultimate rival battle. He's going to lead with Golbat this time, and we'll use Hidden Power to knock it out in one shot. We have Hidden Power Ice, by the way, on the Learn set this time. That's primarily for Lance, but it does come in handy here and there as well. We're already onto the Sneasel. That's a nice and simple one-shot, and the final Pokemon, of course, is going to be for Alligator. We'll use Dragon Claw a couple of times to knock it out, and we defeat the rival for a 4th time in 35 minutes and 38 seconds. Our final Jotonium gym leader is Claire. She is the Dragon-type specialist who leads with Dragonair. We might as well use Hidden Power Ice here against Claire. Both Dragon Claw and Hidden Power Ice would do much the same damage against these 3 Dragonair, but when we get to the Kingdra we will swap to Dragon Claw, and it is a one-hit wonder. We knock out the Kingdra in one shot to defeat Claire and obtain her badge in a time of 42 minutes and 13 seconds. That is so fast. Let's now take on the 5th and final rival battle. I doubt he's going to prove to be any problem at all. It is a mere formality. We'll use Return against Sneasel Pleasel, knock it out in one. We've got Hidden Power Ice for the Golbat, that's going to be another one-shot. The 3rd Pokemon is Magneton, we've got Earthquake now, that's 4 times super effective, it goes away. Haunter's his 4th, Earthquake super effective, it goes down as well. Kadabra's got no physical defense, Earthquake is more than enough, and now we'll use Earthquake against the Feraligatr twice to finish off the rival once and for all. We'll grow to level 44 and we'll say goodbye to him in 44 minutes and 53 seconds. And with that, we're at the Pokemon League, so we're going to heal up whether we need to or not, and now we'll thank the HM friends. So it's a big thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck, and merci to Paris. You've all been a great help in the Johto region. Get yourselves some well-deserved rest, while Rayquaza prepares to take on the Pokemon League. Before we get into the league, let's take a look at our stats. We're level 44 with 171 HP. We're holding the Scamulet coin with Return, Hidden Power, Earthquake, and Dragon Dance. 168 in attack, 111 in defense, 168 also in special attack, 115 in special defense, and 114 in speed. Those, of course, are the out of battle stats. We'll get a big buff in battle, as we'll see now, against Will. He's our first league member, a psychic type specialist who leads with Xatu. We'll use Hidden Power Ice against the Xatu and it goes down in one shot. We'll swap to Return for the Jinx and she goes away in one single hit as well. The 3rd Pokemon is Slowbro. Now, we don't have anything fantastic for the Slowbro, but a combination of Return and Earthquake knocks it out in 2. The 4th Pokemon is, of course, Xatu. That goes down straight away. The final Pokemon is Poor Executor. Goes down to a single Hidden Power Ice. We grow to level 45. We decline the option to learn Fly. Our 2nd league member is Koga. He is, of course, a Poison-type specialist who leads with Ariados. We'll use Return against the Ariados and it goes away in one shot. Fortress is next, and once again we don't have anything great. We'll use Dragon Dance though to try and boost our attack just a little bit. And then after we use 3 Dragon Dances, we'll get to Sweeping. I don't think anything is going to be able to survive with our 483 in-battle attack now. We say goodbye to the Muck, we swap to Return for the Crobat, we knock it out in one shot, and the final Pokemon is Venomoth. Venomoth goes down in much the same way as everything else, we grow to 46, and that is Koga in 46 minutes and 49 seconds. Bruno's next, a fighting type specialist who leads with Hitmontop. Now, Hitmontop is just free setup. There is absolutely nothing he can do to hurt us badly. We're going to set up a couple of Dragon Dances and then we can get to Sweeping once more. Of course, we're going to resist all of Bruno's fighting type moves, and that makes this battle incredibly easy. Even with just a couple of Dragon Dances, the Machamp goes away in one shot. Hitmonlee's going to be no issue at all either, and we're through Bruno in 47 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's take on Karen, the momentum killer who leads with Umbreon. We're going to Dragon Dance and the HP up strat worked, but she went for Confuse Ray twice in a row. That is incredibly rare. Normally she'll go for feint attack on turn 2, and that means we are at risk of hitting ourselves with 405 attack. We get through the Gengar, we don't hit ourselves on Murkrow either, and the next Pokemon is Houndoom. We break through the confusion at this point, so there is no further danger in this battle. We'll one-shot Houndoom, we'll one-shot Vileplume, and we'll defeat Karen in 48 minutes and 13 seconds. And with that, there's only one thing between us and the Hall of Fame. It's time for Lance, the liar with the flyers, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. And do you smell that in the air? That's the smell of free setup. We can set up as many Dragon Dances as we like against this Gyarados. Once we've set up enough, we will get to sweeping. It's a one-shot with return on the Gyarados. It's a one-shot with return also on the Aerodactyl. Here comes the first Dragonite. We're not going to bother with Hidden Power Ice. We don't need to do it. Return will one-shot and we'll skip the super effective text. Charizard comes out to play and goes away straight away. We grow to level 49, we knock out the final Dragonite, and we say thank you Lance for one of the easiest battles we have ever had against you. Time of 48 minutes 59 seconds for Lance, and our final Hall of Fame time is 49 minutes and 15 seconds. It's a very quick time so far, but don't forget this is only half of the story. There's another 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come, so don't you dare go anywhere. Kanto is next. And we rejoin the action here in Vermilion City, where we are going straight into our first gym together. We're skipping the rare candies, we absolutely won't need them, and I am very pleased to announce that Rayquaza is more than capable of taking on our standard Kantonian routing. So we're going to start here with Surge, then we'll take on Erica, we'll move down to Janine, then take care of Sabrina, it's up to Misty, then over to Brock, down to Blaine, and finishing off with Blue. And talking of Blue, if you do want to skip ahead to the Blue fight, it's starting at around about 14 minutes and 6 seconds. For everybody else, let's now sit back, relax, and have our standard Kantonian chat. And in this one, I want to start off with my reasons for backporting this particular trio. It all started off when I was looking through Generation 3 Pokemon to backport. To celebrate doing Hoenn for the first time and bringing back Fire Red and Leaf Green, I knew I wanted to do a trio of Generation 3 Pokemon throughout November, but I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to do Legendaries or if I was going to do something like the starters instead. I settled on Groudon, Rayquaza and Kyogre though when I saw Kyogre's Learn set. I took one look at it and thought I could get a personal best with that, and as we saw, the rest is history. I think the Kyogre challenge will be my fastest challenge in Crystal for a very, very long time. Groudon and Rayquaza are still very good in their own merit, but there was nothing like having Calm Mind, Ice Beam and Surf in a single Learn set, and then we could use that last slots for some kind of physical coverage move as well. I genuinely think that Kyogre might have the single best level up Learn set we will ever see in Pokemon Crystal backporting. Those 3 moves are all you need to win. You're going to hit neutral on pretty much everything that comes up in front of you, and you can just brute force anything else that might be a problem. And the beauty of playing them in the Backport series is there is no pressure on me to get a good time. The backports are all about the fun. We do compare to the main leaderboard at the end of the challenge, but they are never going to be the main challenge runs, and that really does just make it a lot easier to take risks and do things I wouldn't do if I was going on a main challenge. I can tell you now that if I was playing these Pokemon on the main series leaderboard, I absolutely would not have played the way I have done over these last 3 backport challenges. And that's just because it's always the first impression with my challenge runs. Unlike other challenge runners who do multiple runs of the same Pokemon, I have to play a lot more conservatively, because I just don't know how well the Pokemon is going to do against all of these key trainers that we see here in the video. And these 3 challenges has made me decide we're going to be doing an awful lot more backports together here on the channel, not only as the live streams like we have been doing for quite a few months now, but these pre-recorded videos as well. I've got a bunch of incredibly fun backports lined up, especially in December. They're not going to match the times of Groudon, Rayquaza and Kyogre, but they're still going to be an awful lot of fun. But let's now rejoin the action here at Blue. He's our final gym leader of the challenge and he leads with Pidgeot. It's going to be a very simple battle this one, much like we've seen throughout the course of this challenge. We're going to start off with a couple of Dragon Dances to get our attack boosted, and then we're going to try and sweep. We've got Hidden Power Ice for the Rhydon. That's probably the only Pokemon where we're going to need to use Hidden Power. We'll swap to Return for the Gyarados. That goes down in one shot. Alakazam's got no physical defense, so we wouldn't even have needed to boost for that one. And there are only 2 Pokemon left to go. Arcanine gives us a teeny tiny bit of damage with an extreme speed, and the final Pokemon is Executor. Return takes it out in one shot, and we are through blue with 0 resets in 1 hour, 1 minute and 20 seconds. And that means we have just one more trainer left to go. It is of course the final battle with Red, and he's going to lead with Pikachu. Now we're looking for the magic 171, we outspeed Pikachu, and that is a great start. However, Pikachu has Charm, Pikachu has Thunder, and those two could be enough to ruin Rayquaza's day. We are only at 369 attack as we knock out the Pikachu. We're on to the Blastoise, we are 4 times weak to Ice, and we get knocked out by Blizzard. We're going to use some rare candies now and get ourselves up to level 60. We'll see if this is enough. We really just have to get through the Blastoise. That's going to be the big sticking point of this challenge. Now, my reset counter did not count properly in this particular battle. But don't worry, once we take a reset, it will be back in sync. We're back onto this pesky Blastoise now, and the same situation happens. Blizzard hits, and it one-shots us. Let's try again. We only really need one thing to happen, and that is for us to survive the Pikachu with enough HP to sweep the rest of the team. We one-shot the Pikachu. We know that Blastoise isn't going to be an issue now because we more than outspeed it with 546 in speed, and Espeon goes down in one shot as well. Here comes the Snorlax. It's big, it's bulky. Is our attack enough to knock it out? The answer is no. Back to square one we go. We know that we got crits by Pikachu last time, and that is what screwed us over. We try setting up on the Blastoise hoping for the Blizzard miss, but it's just not working. So it's back to setting up against the Pikachu instead. Charm misses, which is a very good start. Thunder misses its first time, and when it hits second time, it paralyzes us, but it does not crit. We were holding the Paralyzed Cure Berry, and now we can get to sweeping once more. We one-shot the Pikachu, but we low-roll the Blastoise. However, Blizzard misses, and that means we're on to Espeon. Espeon's defense is far lower than Blastoise, so it goes down in one shot. It's all about this Snorlax. And this time we high roll. That is what we needed. The rest of the battle is now very, very winnable. Because we can one-shot the Charizard, we've only got Venusaur left to go. Return is more than easily going to one-shot the Venusaur, and we defeat Red in 1 hour, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. We were at 0 resets when we started the Red fights. It took us 10 attempts to get through, and honestly that's kind of understandable. We had nothing to buff our defensive stats here. That time of 1 hour, 5 minutes and 44 seconds would be more than enough to put us in first place on the main challenge leaderboard. It has absolutely demolished Dodrio's time by more than 5 minutes. However, if we turn our attention now to the Backport leaderboard, we can see that the competition is much more fierce. We end up in second place on the Backport leaderboard, pushing Zangoose into third, and Groudon is now off the podium. But with that, for another one, we are done. So I really hope you've enjoyed this challenge and this little mini-series of legendaries. If you have, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more just like this, then click the subscribe button. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. And until next time, when Slowbro reaches the end of the line, I'll say thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all very, very soon.